Now, I wanted to talk about some of the earnings. We saw Microsoft report, which was, Microsoft was unbelievable, right? It was, blew out the numbers. Stock initially went up, and then it's like flat as I'm talking right now. It's I think it's up a little bit, went back up, but the numbers that they reported, and Azure is their cloud platform saw a 50% rate in growth. Just when I talk about a small cap company where it's you grow 150%, 100%. This is like one of the largest companies in the world growing sales of their biggest division by 50%, meaning that they definitely have pricing power and they definitely have more customers coming online. Again, guys, when you think cloud, it's simple. You just think that they're tracking every single step of you. They're keeping all this data into the cloud. Now that they have the cloud, they have this massive amount of storage. Now you could throw AI on it and artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence only works when you're able to analyze data for a very, very long period of time, which they've been doing for 10, 15 years now. You just didn't know about it that long ago. But it's not so much where people should be scared where, they know what I'm doing. Or, listen, they know exactly what you're going to do right now. They know where you're going. Listen, we're creatures of habit, right? We drink coffee at the same time. We go to the bathroom at the same time. We go on vacation at the same time. We do the same things. We work same out. So they know everything we're going to do before we do it, and how we buy, what we spend on, what we need. And, that's gold to any company in the world that wants to have a massive return on ad spend, right? Because you know exactly what they're going to buy. And just seeing these numbers, and AWS is going to come out, I guess Amazon, they're going to report similar numbers with massive growth. Those are the two kings of cloud. Pretty incredible, right? And that it wasn't just them, right? It wasn't just that division. It was divisions all across the whole company.
Yeah, they basically just beat across the board handily. Advertising revenue jumped 2% year over year, it's not a huge increase, but it's a big deal because in the previous quarter of this year, ending in September, it declined 10%. You pointed out the cloud revenue jumped 50% year over year. That's up from 47 and 48% growth in the last couple of quarters in this year. So it's amazing. It's around 1.8 trillion, almost $2 trillion market cap, and they're growing those divisions that fast. It's incredible. And that you're going to see more separation. Anytime they talk about, I don't want to beat a dead horse here because I've talked about several times. We've joked and said Microsoft, Apple, and Microsoft, Facebook, they're such great businesses as far as the return on capital and return on investment. It's hilarious. And the headlines about breaking them up and stuff, I think, should be ignored and or bought on weakness. And this report is another one of those. They're huge conglomerates, and growth is still, if you're growing everything at 15 to 50%, why not have a 30 PE price to earnings multiple,
It is really incredible. And I'm just looking at guys, Xbox, the Xbox grew 40%, right? Because they came out with the new one. You have LinkedIn grew tremendously. Every single division of this company is just on fire right now. And I'm trying to bring this up here just to see it. So it's like flat today. It was up a lot more, but the market cap is $1.7 trillion. Have fun. Go on Google and look at the GDP of certain countries. And I'd say that's bigger than 80%, 85%. At least $1.7 trillion is their market cap. That is unbelievable. And you know what? They're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And based on the numbers that they reported, it's not even trading at 30 times forward earnings. It's trading at a cheaper multiple than that. Yeah. So they're growing a lot faster. And also we have Apple. Apple's coming out, and that's, I expect Apple numbers to be really, really good. It's run up to a new high. Again, now they're coming back into favor, a lot of these large cap stocks. Microsoft has run up, and I got a thing here. Here you see Microsoft run up from 212 to 230 before they reported, and Apple. So you saw that rotation out of like cyclicals and things like that, which were doing fantastic over the past few months since September to beginning of January. And now, we'll see what happens going forward. But, guys, just be, that's what we have with our newsletters at Curzio Research is, we're aware of these trends. We see what's going on. We're trying to position you in them. And we've done a very good job getting into cyclicals early, getting it before everybody was telling you that, cyclicals are great. We bought Goldman Sachs, and a couple of guys made fun of me 3-4 months ago, up over 40%. Now everyone loves the banks. Just getting into these division or different sectors, ahead of the crowd. It's not that difficult to see. We've been able to do it, and it's a lot of fun right now. But I'm sure Apple's going to blow out the numbers, right? Daniel, I can't picture them not blowing out the numbers.
Yeah, of course, anything could happen, but yeah, I would expect, huge growth. I'd expect them to impress as they always do. They're just one of those goofy machines that's just seems like, they're going to keep taking over and taking over. They're over $2 trillion, right? Their market cap. Do you have it up in front of you?
Let me see.
I think it's already over $2 trillion because I think they have the.
It might be. Let me see.
They hold the number one spot. So
I'll take a look right now. But so when let me bring this up for you guys. Again, you can Curzio Research YouTube page, guys. I mean, we're getting a lot of traction now. We show a lot of charts and figures and how we do our research. Everything's in video format. We're going to be doing everything in video format. My newsletters are in video format, but a lot of this stuff, especially daily reports and stuff like that, I do live streaming and everything. That can be found on Curzio Research YouTube page. So I know a lot of you listen to this iTunes, but if you want to see my face, my ugly face, and Daniel's pretty face, you could actually do that, and you'll see everything on YouTube. But let me see with the market cap. Yeah, it's only 2.4 billion. Trillion.
There you go.
Billion, I almost said trillion. 2.4 trillion. You know how much money that is?
Nope. Can't even fathom it, be honest with you.
Wow,
that's crazy.
2.4 trillion. And I want to show you guys one last thing here. So this is like the briefing platform, which is really, really cool. It just gives you, it's almost like a Cliff Note version of everything that's going on, but it's not all in your face where it's very difficult, but this is a lot of things they do. So this is Apple first quarter earnings preview. So I could look through this and it says, estimates are calling for $1.41, revenue of over $100 billion in sales for the quarter, $100 billion in sales for the quarter. Gross margins, 38%. You're looking at iPhone revenue of 60 billion that they're expecting. But, I'll go through this and it's a quick, and then I can really dig in and see, okay, what numbers do I expect to make or miss? Is it iPads, Apple? What are they going to say? But, it's a good start, but it gives you, this is what they do. And then after earnings, they'll give you all bullet points on the conference call and what they said. But, expect Apple, and it's trading that way because it's run up tremendously. That's going to really blow out the earnings, guys. And, that's expected. But that's briefing.com. I don't get paid by them. They raise the prices and stuff like that. And I guess they should. It's a really good system that we use every day. It just gives you really a Cliff Notes version of everything that's going on. Non-biased, and you don't have to worry about listening to a commentator that has like a bias or whatever, and an anchor or whatever. But it's really, really cool just to have all this information, calendars, and all kinds of stuff on it. So, it's one of the research tools we use. So, Dan, I know you wanted to talk about, because since we have two upcoming guests that are fantastic, and I'll give them to you. Mark Randolph is next week. He's the co-founder of Netflix. Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is great.
And then, so he's going to be on 2 weeks from now. Next week, we're interviewing Spencer Abraham, who's a former Secretary of Energy. So I interviewed Mark, and that's coming out in 2 weeks. And I was going to put that interview, he wanted me to push out a little bit further because he's launching an amazing podcast. So we had a great conversation, and I told him what I tell everyone else, which is the hundreds of people that come to me with podcast. I said, it's not competitive or anything, right? Because you can listen to it whatever you want. And I told him, listen, over 100 people have come to me and 0 have stuck with it because they don't realize the work you have to put in, the dedication you have to put in, the guests you have to interview, what you have to, get every guest that we interview, I'm vetting, right? Going through everything that they wrote, everything they said over the past 6 months, which is great because I get to learn. And, after these interviews, they always say the same thing. Like, wow, that was really great. That was awesome. Because I actually let them talk and I don't cut them off every 2 seconds. But, and I told them that stick to the program, make sure you have a podcast, whatever day it is. If it's weekly, I think it said it's weekly. I said, make sure you do it at that time. It's available because it's like a TV show. If you don't do it for a week or two, people are going to leave. They're not going to come back. I tell everyone the same story, how difficult it is, but you have to be passionate about it. You can't just do it as, hey, I want to do it. And, no, most people do it for months, weeks, and then they stop. But he's coming out with his podcast. But anyway, where I was getting to, which is a long, very long-winded, is that we don't have a guest, right? So we usually take a pick from our guest, Dollar Stock Club. So I got bad news for you guys because we're going to get a pick from Daniel today.
Yeah, well,
so I'm just
maybe
curious.
Not today. You'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow. Yeah. But, we're going to, mention a couple of stocks. We'll take one of those, I guess. But I'm just curious to know what it is. This way I could short it. So,
get it on Wall Street Bets. We're going to recommend GameStop.
This guy, Daniel Creech, is on Wall Street Unplugged.
Good publicity, I guess.
Yeah. So, and all kidding aside, the last pick, because sometimes we try to have a pick every week, but sometimes we'll have guests, that are just, are not analysts, and we might not have a pick, but we try to have one, and maybe I'll throw one in. But the last pick Daniel threw in was Chubb, right?
Well, no, that was for CRA.
Oh, CRA.
No, in fact, my last pick for Dollar Stock Club was Toll Brothers, which we got out for a small 2% gain, and it's rallied significantly since then. So it was bad timing. We got out for a 2% game and all that.
But and Chubb was one of the ones you recommended in CRA, which is up how much? And this is just a couple months ago.
No, 20 some percent. Yeah, it's a half position, so it kind of ran away from us a little bit, but it's coming out with earnings soon, so we'll reevaluate. Maybe add the second half.
I think 2-3 months ago. So yeah.
So yeah, Toll Brothers is aggravating because, like I said, we got a 2% gain, but if you forgot that or missed that update, congratulations, because now you're up probably 15, which is nice. But yeah, for tomorrow's pick, it'll be somewhere between, I'll tease it a little bit. I've been looking at gun stocks, Strumruger and Smith & Wesson, some ammo stocks. I also like oil and energy stocks. I wish they were pulling back. Oil and everything was down earlier, but those things are kind of rallying. So we want to look at momentum and, it's not just about fundamentals. And this is a fun trading newsletter. So we'll see something about volatility. I've run several screens. So yeah, we'll come out with something tomorrow for everybody.
Yeah, and you like gun stocks. Why?
Well, I think 2 reasons. One, I think they are solid businesses, and we are moving in a direction of the country towards being more aware of everything. I think there's a lot of political unrest. There's obviously calls on not both sides, but political headwinds about defunding police and lack thereof. You also have riots and more unrest and all kinds of stuff going on. So you don't have to look very hard to think, man, and to have the news paint a negative picture. And if you look at FBI background checks and things, they're up 30, sometimes 30% year over year, depending on when they report. And a lot of first-time gun buyers. So those are good businesses. I mean, I'm a gun guy. I'm from a small town. I like the Second Amendment. And, there's been talk about taking that away. So I think there's some headline risk reward there that around a good business and that you can really look at.
Well, I just pulled up the chart for Strumruger here. No, I'm sorry, for Smith & Wesson. And yeah, these things ran really higher since, December. You're looking at least it's, $15 and it went to $22 and it's pulled back significantly. It's like $16 right now. I did ask one of my friends who shoots, and I bought my first gun as well, which, I shoot, so which is really cool. I wouldn't say I shoot because I'm disrespecting everyone who does shoot because I really didn't know anything about guns. And I was, a subscriber who is in that business. Came down, was visiting anyway, and went to the shooting range with him. And it was pretty amazing. And I wound up buying a gun. But this person, first of all, has lots of guns, and everybody wants to buy them off him. And second of all, he said he has 2 shotguns, and the shotgun shells, he said that someone was quoting him at $5 for one.
Yeah, ammo's going crazy right now. I mean, it's nuts. So, and you can't blame him. I mean, you look around, like I said, there's a lot of unrest, a lot of nervousness out there, and it's kind of play on what you think is going to happen, and why would that momentum stop? So it's kind of one of those things.
It just makes you think too. I mean, if someone robs your house, right? It's like, you better make sure you hit them. It's $5 for every time you miss them, right?
It's cost effective. Yeah.
I mean, it could be like $50, $100 before you shoot the guy.
I know.
It's pretty crazy, right? These prices, it's insane.